Welcome, dear hearts, to a discussion of the yearning for the possibility of peace on earth. It consumes the world, the League of Nations, the United Nations. Whether or not can this lead us into an actual experience of peace on earth? Well, it's going to depend on what you mean by peace on earth. Can you get peace on earth by suppressing people who resent the hardships that they're enduring and object to it and disturb our personal peace, or can produce terrorists? Can that do it? Well, that can't do it. We see it. We have never had a period of time in which there has been a way that people learned to be able to practice peace on earth. Well, what would peace on earth be? It would be a civilization, a complete, a total civilization in which every person learns that people are concerned for them, wish to be able to help them in all different kinds of circumstances, and to be able to assure them that the essentials of life in this world are being delivered to them so that there is no hardship. Well, we'll take that for a working concept of peace on earth. Can it be accomplished? All right, let's look at a question or two. Can there be peace on earth with a minimum wage of $7.95 in which a family is supposed to be able to survive? Is there peace on earth when there are wealthy and impoverished? Is there peace on earth where a person can't be assured of the same kind of medical treatment that would enable them to survive safely disease? Can there be peace on earth without those being present? Obviously not. That the civilization that we all experience is one of a survival orientation, that we're reduced even as the animals that we are in the human mind to survival at all cost, and to be able to do to them what needs to be done in order to be assured that we stay alive. Have we created a civilization like that? And the sadness of it is, no, it cannot be done. And even more sad, it cannot be done from the human state. There's no way there can be peace on earth in which all are seen as one with each other, that all are seen as God brothers and sisters, or as God's oneness. It cannot be done when we're unable and unwilling to guarantee the other person's well-being, even at the expense of our own, because love would be the supreme movement in a peace on earth, to nourish the other person, and that's dependent on our knowing that we are eternal souls. There is no way to have peace on earth when you are a body. There is only the possibility of peace on earth when everybody is the divine soul. And at that point, there'd be no earth, because when we're in the soul state, and I have experienced it many times, there is no desire whatsoever to be able to live the life of the human state, which is one of undependability and dangerousness, of a circumstance in which everything is precarious, nothing is stable. The earth in itself is in an unstable state with its typhoons and monsoons and hurricanes and tsunamis, all of the type of problems that make this a very dangerous place to be able to live. Can't be done. We would be gone into the state of the divine being, another estate, another cosmic aspect that we don't have here. Well, can you even get a peace on earth inside yourself? The answer to that is yes. And to the extent that peace on earth is dependent on the soul experiencing peace, that, to that extent, is the peace on earth that occurs. But move past that, and you have no desire, after you have experienced the peace within you, to stay in this beingness except for one reason, and one reason only. That once you have experienced the peace within you, once you have experienced that, you only have one desire, and that is to help others to get there too. Because you have experienced at that point that you are one with everybody else, and that they are lost if they have not reached the state of which we're talking about. And all you feel is a dedication and a devotion to them because you know yourself to be one with them. You understand Jesus' statement to Philip in the Gospel of John, Philip, I'm in the Father, and I'm in you, and you're in me. Well, Jesus was in that relationship with Philip. He's in that relationship with you. There is this oneness, this belongingness, this absolute and total integration of our souls in the fullness of love that is going on in it. And can that be reached? The answer is yes, that can be done. That's the only kind of peace on earth that is received, but in which the individual only wants to help the other person to get there because their lack of peace is experienced as a lack of peace within us unless we are desirous of helping them. And how do you help them? You have to turn to God. Even that we can't do ourselves. But Lord, I hand myself to you for this other person, that I might be the one who can assist you in what you want to accomplish with them. And when that prayer is made, it's not that you're coming up with what the solution is. You have turned yourself over to God as a servant to use your life. And you're not worried about the life ending or survival because you now know you are an eternal being. And that is a crucial, essential criteria of being able to experience peace within yourself. Because you're no longer afraid of non-existence, of death, of illness. None of it is the realness. We feel it as a realness, but it is not the ultimate realness. It's been shown to you. You see yourself in the state of peace, and you know, this is the me. I belong. I'm not worried. I'm feeling accepted. I'm feeling loved. I'm feeling the absence of uneasiness. I feel that I'm just a blessing and that I'm there to give it away. This is what we feel from this state of mind. But God has to deliver that to you. And it is not based on whether you deserve it or not. It is not based on that, because for you to decide whether or not you deserve something means you've got your own personal judgment about what is worth and what isn't. In that state of peace and of blessings, what you are receiving is God's delivery of that state based on God's understanding of what God has made you ready for. You have nothing to do whatsoever with that readiness except to be able to know, I ain't got peace. And you're missing it. Nothing more than you become aware you're unhappy with that. And that in itself is a prayer for peace in you and peace on earth, although you don't even know that there is that kind of a changeover from your inner peace to one in which you're helping others. You're not even aware of that. but God knows how to bring, by the basis of God's criteria of where you're at, whether or not God has set you up to be a receiver of peace and a deliverer of it. When everybody is finally done with receiving the peace on earth and of returning to the awakening of the blessing of peace and love and joy, just like God would have it, everything that God would have in the kingdom of heaven, this world ends at that point, because this world was only a fantasy, an imagined state, an alternative state that we experimented with and in which we lost our inner peace and lost the awareness as well of peace with others, only to be returned when God leads us out of that state and back into how God created us in the first place. Well, it's not quite the peace, is it, folks, that we keep hoping for, that the states and the countries can get together. There are no states and there are no countries in the kingdom. There's just the oneness between ourselves and God. That's all there is. There's nothing more. That's enough. Hope this is helpful to you. If you have questions, don't hesitate to write them, to put them down, and we will try to get to them as quickly as possible, because you're precious and your questions are invaluable to us, because that makes us really present with you. Hope this is helpful. Bye-bye for now.